Welcome to another episode in the Quantum Human Summit series, expanding your multi-dimensional awareness. And our guest today is someone who absolutely has expanded her multi-dimensional awareness as she works with healing frequencies and the Arcturians and many more beautiful beings of light. And this is crystal chamber nervous system regeneration. Hilary Faye is with us. She is an intuitive healer and a channel and a beautiful person here on the planet, assisting all of us in stepping into our multi-dimensionality. Hi, Hilary. Thank you for being here. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here with you, Lauren. Thank you.
We are going to experience the crystal chamber with the Arcturians just a little bit today. And this is wonderful. So as we're talking about expanding our multidimensionality or our multidimensional awareness, you have already done this. And that is one of the gifts when we do this, is to receive information from the higher realms. Can you share with us your awakening story? How did you get involved in this?
Oh, thank you. That's a great question. So, my awakening came at a somewhat young age, or the first experience I had of connecting to my higher self was when I was around 12 years old. And I was actually in my closet in my bedroom because I had a very, very rough upbringing. And I remember hearing a voice say to me, "This, what you're seeing around you, is not who you are." And I was like, at 12 years old, I couldn't comprehend that because I wasn't particularly raised with spirituality or with any religion. And I didn't know what that voice meant. But I knew that the voice was outside of myself. And I thought it might be the voice of an angel, even though I didn't know much about anything at 12 years old. I thought, is this the voice of an angel? And it just kept explaining the circumstances and conditions that you see outside of yourself are not who you are. And I love sharing this because this is true for all of us. Sometimes we're in the mud of a human experience, whether, that be through relationship challenges, work challenges, health challenges, and we can forget who we are as multidimensional light beings, as eternal beings of light, that we have this eternal light body, this soul essence that is the truth of who we are. So fast forward, when I was around 17 years old, I began diving deep into transformational work because I knew that I had to find a way to heal or I could not stay on planet Earth. Because let's just say I was put through an extremely difficult curriculum, as many of us were in the first 17 years of life, got handed a few very rough challenges, quite a few, to be honest. And that was an awakening for me. So I started reading so many books, practicing yoga, meditation. I remember the first book I read was Seth Speaks, the multidimensional or the personal reality of the soul. I'm not giving the title right, but it blew my mind. And then from there, I've spent the last 21 years on this transformational journey. And at one point, around 10, 11 years ago, when I was studying Reiki, my teacher told me to send Reiki back in time to myself during a time when I really needed help. So I was sitting in my bed working with the quantum energy, since I love the quantum energy. And I sent energy back to myself when I was in the closet at 12 years old. But then I actually stepped back into that moment and was shown that the voice I heard when I was 12 years old, that I thought was the voice of an angel telling me what I was experiencing around me, was not the truth of who I was actually the voice of my higher self. And then I realized I spoke to myself, let's say this was around 11 years ago. So my 27-year-old self spoke to my 12-year-old self, and my 12-year-old self heard myself and then always remembered it. And it wasn't until that moment in time that I realized it was my own voice, and that these eternal light bodies that we are, beyond the time we spend in this human experience, we are guiding ourselves. And the light of our eternal light body is a reflection of our guides. And I feel we have different awakenings at different points, because I had many, many, many awakenings over the past 21 years. And it was around 6 years ago that I had my cosmic awakening and began connecting with the Arcturians, the Andromedans, the Palladians, and that was a whole nother adventure. And what I'm so excited to have you all experience today.
Thank you so much for this, Hillary. I just want to say that listening to you and how you soothe yourself at such a young age brings such hope for humanity, because not only did you just shift our energy here and uplift us here, but you are this hope for humanity that we're all awakening in due time, in perfect time, actually. I love that you were awakened at 17. Well, I actually love that at 12 years old, when you were in your closet, I sat in my closet too. Really interesting that that's a safe haven. But you heard the voice, and that gave you great solace. And then you took your journey, you took it full force, bulls by the horn, right? Bull by the horn, and went in and dove deep into this wisdom and sought this wisdom. So many of us back in the day would just self-medicate, go into alcohol or drugs, or just bypass the whole experience. And so this is what's really good about another younger generation, is that you don't have to wait until you're 40 years old to have these awakenings like many of us. You did it at such a nice young age. And this is happening more and more on the planet. Would you say people are awakening at younger ages these days?
Yes, because the energy is sped up so much, and with the technology and all the information that's more readily available, and with the help of the whole cosmic climate, like all that we're experiencing with these solar flares and all the light coming onto the planet, but with the help of our guides, like the Arcturians, who are the keepers of higher dimensional consciousness and pure spirit, and they're working with their crystalline technology, beaming it onto Earth and to every human consistently. So there's so much more available. Even though times can still be very challenging, there's a lot more available. And I did have my self-medication period from age 12 to 17. But after 17, when I read that first book, it was like, this is it. Like, there's no other way that I can live this life. I saw, like, my mom was an addict, and that was part of some of what I experienced. And I'm like, I can't go that direction, because I see where that direction leads. And I'm so grateful that people wrote these books and that this information was available, because in the beginning for me, I was taking every training and certification under the sun for my own self-healing. I always thought I wasn't good enough. It was never in my mind that I could be a healer, that I would be a spiritual teacher, let alone that I would train over 3,000 healers. I couldn't have comprehended it at that point, just like I couldn't comprehend the message of what you see around you, like living with drug addicts in a violent situation, is not who you are, was not who I was. So, in this journey of awakening to ourselves, there's we're open to see certain amounts at certain times, and then know that continues to expand. So, like, you listening, whatever you're open to see right now about who you are as a multidimensional being, what your purpose on this planet is, that will continue to grow and expand. And it is beautiful that it's growing, expanding at a rapid rate, and definitely at a younger age for many, many people, like Lauren said.
Again, that's what brings so much hope for humanity. It's really refreshing. And then the young kids that are coming in now, they don't even have to go through most of this clearing, is what we're learning. So it's beautiful. And that's what makes you a great way shower and a leader for that next generation as well. So I love that. All right. So your cosmic awakening, so many of us would like that. What does that mean? Like, what happened there, and how did you connect with the Arcturians, the Andromedans? Did you think that you were going crazy at first? What was that story? What happened there?
Oh, that's a great story. Thank you for asking. I was inspired to go to an event. I was living in Toronto, Canada at the time. Now I'm in Sarasota, Florida, but I was inspired to go to an event that was a diamond light body activation. The beautiful woman, Honeybee, who was offering it, isn't offering it at this time, but I was inspired to go and I went. And she was speaking light language and activating the diamond light body. And then she said at some point, I had never heard light language. The whole thing was a really beautiful experience, even though I'd been studying alchemy for 15 years, Kundalini, Reiki, past life, all the different things, but I had not yet had my awakening to our star brothers and sisters, our star family of light. I was working more with the archangels, ascended masters, angels. But she said during this activation, don't be surprised if you wake up in the morning speaking languages that you don't recognize. And of course, my analytical mind or doubtful mind thought, that's not going to happen to me, even though I was loving and enjoying the experience. Sure enough, I woke up the next morning sitting in my garden speaking languages that I did not recognize. And I had a few sessions with her and deepened my training. And I was speaking Arcturian, Andromedan, and Palladian. And a few years later, after working with these guides, particularly the Arcturians, they showed me that my soul essence, that my star seed essence is Arcturian, Palladian, and Andromedan. And that's why those were the three languages that I started speaking after she spoke them. So that was a powerful experience. And then from there, when I was doing some one-on-one healing sessions in Zoom, how this nervous system regeneration came to be is that the Arcturians would come into the room and say, we're going to do the nervous system regeneration. They would start performing healings. And while they were facilitating healings, they were teaching me how to do these healings and how to connect to the crystal chamber consciousness. So that was a really, really powerful experience. And yes, at first I thought I was going a little bit crazy, but I absolutely loved it. It was what I had been needing and waiting for, that level of awakening, because it's like the blossoming, the journey of awakening. There's different layers at different points.
Beautiful. I can hear a question from our audience about the light language and how did you trust that when you first began speaking it? Was it easy? It seems like it was very easy, like you had no blocks in speaking it. Um, did you trust it? Did you know what you were saying, or did you feel more about it?
I could feel it, and I knew it was coming from a really pure place, but I did not know. I had never even heard the term Arcturian or Andromedan. I had not had my cosmic awakening, so this was it. And I had some sessions with the teacher who did that activation. And since she had been working with it for so long, and now I have been for over 6 years too, she like I can now, would recognize different forms of light language and where they were coming from. So I would speak and she would say, that's Arcturian, that's Andromedan. And then I started studying and just spending more time in communion with these guides and really feeling their frequencies of light. But that was a really important part of the training with her, was to ensure that what is coming through those multidimensional codes of light are coming from a really pure place.
Yes, okay. I find it fascinating that Reiki was the doorway. It's almost as if Reiki is an activation in that higher consciousness, cosmic consciousness in itself, right? Many people who go along that road then unlock other gifts, psychic abilities, clair gifts, and all of that. So Reiki for you was really important, right? Do you think that that was something that opened you up? I know it was many different things, but I really want to attribute Reiki for that
Yeah.
awakening experience.
Yes, I for some reason was slightly resistant to Reiki, and I never knew why. I had done so many deep trainings for many years, for over 10 years before I did Reiki. And then at one point, I'm in my kitchen chopping vegetables, and some guide said to me, "You're going to learn Reiki, that I'm going to be creating a healing arts academy. And as part of that, I need to learn Reiki." And I did, and it was a huge awakening for me because it really gives you the confirmation that you are a healer. And just like Lauren was saying, when you're channeling the universal life force, that's when you can open to also channel specific quantum frequencies from the quantum field and also the light, the universal life force, the Reiki is encoded with information. So it's exactly how the psychic skills open up too. So yes, Reiki was an absolutely huge game changer for me.
Wow. Okay. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. So the Arcturians, let's talk about the Arcturians who you work with. I know many who are watching and listening really resonate with the Arcturians as well. So what do you know about the Arcturians then? And then talk a little bit about this technology, this new healing technology that they gave you.
Oh, I'd love to. I believe the reason why so many of us resonate with the Arcturians is because their energy is so pure and so joyful. They are really the most advanced, both spiritually and technologically. And a lot of the other star beings, like the Palladians, Lyrans, Andromedans, look up to the Arcturians because they've accessed the highest dimensions of consciousness, where they are the keepers of pure spirit, the keepers of higher consciousness. And as a part of that, they're deeply dedicated to humanity. And part of that dedication is they have a lot of really beautiful healing technology, often crystal technology, and they have a fleet of starships. They're protecting Earth. They're consistently bringing specific frequencies of crystalline light through their crystals, especially from the different starships like the Starship Athena, which is an organic, higher dimensional, non-physical starship powered by crystalline technology, powered by crystals and moldavite. And they have the crystals within the starship that they're beaming down to Earth, particularly to power sites on Earth, powerful places on Earth, like the pyramids of Giza, like Stonehenge. And by doing that, they are what they're saying right now is custom calibrating these specific frequencies of light to really support humanity in their healing and ascension. And what was so interesting when they would come into the room and start facilitating healings and teaching me the healings is that they knew that sometimes there are forces of control that maybe do not want humanity's highest awakening because they want humanity to be controlled. And the way that those forces had affected the nervous systems of humanity, the hormonal systems, the biofield, the energy field, and then the specific frequencies that we can work with to clear that and unwind it. Because they showed me if our energy system, which affects the hormonal system, which affects the aura, but part of it is this crystalline chamber technology where there are crystal chambers in the Starship Athena and the other starships and on Arcturus. And we can enter these crystal chambers within our astral bodies, but also what they showed me is that because what they do is project the light of crystalline consciousness onto earth, which is the Christ consciousness that we're all waking up to, that we don't even have to astral travel to enter the crystal chambers, that we can ask to connect. And the light of this technology will literally form all around us. So they showed me that they'll project down with our walls of this harmonic crystal light about 4 feet from the physical body in all directions, above, behind, below, in front, to the left and right. So that when the healing frequencies are coming through, for example, for the nervous system regeneration, one is held in that harmonic crystalline consciousness. That light is projected to an individual directly as they are also projecting that light onto earth as a whole, which is really a beautiful experience.
Wow, incredible support there. How have you seen this be received by the people that you work with? What are they experiencing with it?
Really deep levels of harmony, higher connection, higher clarity, the ability to open their psychic gifts, really the ability to be held and supported through whatever they're healing physically, mentally, emotionally. But that is the main thing. At one point, the Arcturians showed me that because sometimes this collective ascension process can be a bit intense, and as part of it, sometimes many people are purging shadow material and are clearing and releasing a lot, especially when a lot of light is coming onto the earth, or it's eclipse season, or there's potent solar flares and things like that. That to be able to go within the crystal chamber is a place where one can go into that metaphorical closet, but like the really harmonic, highest light closet where you can be held in the crystalline frequency, and it will help harmonize anything in the energy field and the physical body, anything that needs healing, or especially anything that's not resonant with you, that's not for the greatest love and the highest good. Then that crystal technology can begin clearing so that one can really be their true self and awaken to that multidimensional self without being as bogged down by the energies of the collective or whatever may be happening in someone's life.
Yes, there's so much going on our planet as that old paradigm crumbles.
Yeah.
And so this seems to really be supportive for bringing in the new paradigm and new earth. And so that purification process that is happening, that really is key, would you say? Because
Yeah.
we get rid of all of it. And so this, would you say it's, I don't know if easy is the word, but maybe is it easy to let the light in to receive this? Or is a big part of it getting out of our own way? Because we could, like you had resistance to it. The resistance is probably something that our soul is leading us to, but our ego mind is resisting it. So is this easy for people to consciously open up to? Do we have to open up to it with an awareness, or is it happening to people without their awareness?
It is easy and it is happening because they're consistently sending this crystalline light, which is exactly anchoring the light of the Christed consciousness of the new earth onto the planet. What they shared with me is that the Arcturians are already in unity consciousness with us. They are in oneness with us. So our only job is to open to receive. And even if someone is in a space of doubt, like, I don't know if I'm really connected to the Arcturians, or I don't know if I can really receive this, if you just think you are, that helps because you are. When you set the intention, you are connected with them and they will anchor the light of this crystalline consciousness all around you. It is incredibly easy. but then it is that power of belief. I had an experience one time where this was maybe a year and a half ago. I was in a really busy phase where I had a lot to do, and my nervous system was overstimulated, and I was mentally overstimulated. And for about a week or two, I'm like, where are my guides? Where are my guides? I'm not hearing them. I'm not seeing them. I'm not connecting, even though the Arcturians communicate telepathically. So I've seen them and heard them many times, but normally it's a telepathic communication. But I kept having that thought. And by having that thought that I wasn't connected to my guides, I was manifesting that experience mentally, even though it wasn't the truth. Then at one point, I laid down and I heard the words, say thank you for the fact that your guides are all around you. And I just said out loud, thank you, guides, for being all around me, even though I didn't believe it because I was in this mental paradigm that I wasn't connected in that moment because I was too busy and overstimulated. Then I woke up the next morning and channeled an entire course and could see and hear all of my guides just by the one thought. Thank you, guides, for being all around me. And my mind didn't believe it was true when I said it out loud, but I said it anyways. And I chose to believe. And then I woke up surrounded by my guides, writing, get a piece of paper, writing pages and pages and pages of information after 2 weeks of not feeling as connected. So our thoughts play a big role in that. And the Arcturians have shared that with me many, many times. And it can be easy to connect with them and the crystalline technology if you believe.
Wow, thank you for sharing that. So the thoughts and the nervous system, we can really start to see this pattern between thoughts and the nervous system. So really be careful of our thoughts. What do you do to really make sure that your thoughts remain aligned or pure? Or if you have thoughts, negative thoughts, or even just being busy, what do you do to bring back yourself to center? Is it with this crystal energy?
I meditate every morning and connect to the light of the crystal chambers and have it surround me, and I do it before bed every night as well too. And then I choose to think useful thoughts that are in alignment with what I want. If you want to feel a connection with your guides, think thoughts about being connected with your guides even if you don't believe they're true, because those thoughts will begin having an effect, like Lauren said, on the mind, on the energy field, on the nervous system. So lately, one that I've been doing, like if you have someone has a particular thought that they struggle with, just choose something you can repeat that will bring you ease. Lately, sometimes when I'm have a lot going on or that self-doubt tries to creep in, I just literally think, you're doing great. You're doing great. You're doing great. And I keep telling myself that. And then that shifts my energy, that shifts my mind from thoughts of critiquing myself or being hard on myself or what am I not doing to just those simple, simple things. So, meditation, connecting to the crystal chambers, and yeah, what thought will be useful? What thought will benefit your nervous system, will benefit your whole being, even instead of a thought like, I'm not doing enough, I probably disappointed this person, something like, I'm doing a good job, I'm doing great, everything's okay. These can be, it's been beneficial for me lately. So I thought I would share that.
And I'm sure it's beneficial for all of the planet. We've all been through a lot these past couple of years. It just seems like with that acceleration, it's a pressure cooker that is showing us how to surrender to love, how to surrender to our higher selves and to really trust. So beautiful. Thank you for the work that you do on the planet. Can you share more on the crystal chambers? What do you see them as? I know we're going to do a little mini session to experience it, but I know many people would like to connect to that and make it a regular practice in their life. Can you share more on this?
Yes. So the first thing I recommend is you can ask to connect to the consciousness of the Starship Athena. That's the main starship I connect with. Some people connect with the mothership as well. There is an armada or fleet of these light ships. They are not made out of metal, they are made out of higher dimensional, living, organic, light, crystalline consciousness. You can ask to connect. And when you do, I've been shown that there's a portal of light that will be projected down. Your astral body, which is as simple as one, make sure your astral body is with you. So if your astral body's out astral traveling elsewhere, you can call your astral body back to yourself. And it is like an outline of the physical body. And then invite the astral body to enter that projection of light, that portal of light. And then when you enter the Starship Athena, it is a really, really high frequency of that Christed crystalline light. And there are these specific rooms, chambers that are surrounded by crystal energy. The bed is made out of crystal, and your astral body can enter directly. And the crystal chamber master healers will begin facilitating different healings. And they do work with, I don't obviously have the exact Vogel wands that they work with, but they do work with etheric wands that are cut in the different Vogel shapes to facilitate the different healings. So that's the one way. And you can do both ways as well. The other way is when that portal of light from the Starship Athena beams around you, the room will form around you. So if you're laying down, if you're sitting up, what you're sitting on underneath is that crystalline light underneath you, above you, in front of you, behind you, to the left and right hand sides. You can think of them, what they showed me, as walls of really concentrated crystalline light that are about 2 feet thick, and they're 3 feet from the physical body all around you. So, like a square or a cube, and then you're surrounded in that consciousness. And the crystal chamber healers, especially if you ask for the nervous system regeneration, will come to where you are physically and begin supporting you in your healing process.
Wow. Okay. Beautiful. We are excited to experience a little mini transmission with that. But before we get there, Hillary, I want to ask for maybe your clairvoyance or your inner knowing, your intuitiveness to this. Because last night, as I was sitting outside looking at the sky, there was the only star in the sky. And I was like, where are all the other stars? And it kept changing colors, red, blue, green, and it was very consistent. And something deep within inside me said, this has to be more than a star. Where are all the other stars? And then I felt waves of energy. So something was happening there. I fell asleep. And then the dream space that I had last night, it was very vivid. It showed me a behavior pattern that was really left over from a long time ago. And I woke up and I was like, that's done. So I was almost shown a new way of being and walking. So it was like removing a remnant. So what is your intuition on something like that? Could that have been a starship, or what would you think?
I believe I'm getting that it was the Starship Athena. And before bed last night, I was sending light to you, sending light to this entire conversation, and this morning too. And especially when you say that those changes of colors, like the emerald green healing light can come from the Starship Athena, the violet flame, the Arcturian blue healing light.
Yes.
So they showed me that that's what they were doing for you. And what happened for you is what happens in the crystal chambers. Like part of the nervous system regeneration is that there may be a part of us, a program or a pattern, and it is within the nervous system. And when we do this healing, just like you said, okay, that like long old pattern, it's done now. This is what we're really doing. We're unplugging from so many programs that are not the truth of who we are. So I'm celebrating that. I love that.
Oh
Thank
my
you for
God.
sharing.
I know. Well, just hearing you talk brought that memory up, and it was like, wow. And then I related it to the dreams. And what I find really fascinating is there's other work that we do as well with the Arcturians. And we were doing a webinar series. And as I was integrating part of that integration was an awareness, a deep awareness that of watching the thoughts and seeing the emotions connected to the thoughts. And so then here it comes full circle. I can see the emotions that arise are then from the thoughts. So get rid of those negative thoughts and watch the thoughts, because I really saw the lines between the thoughts and emotions. And I know that seems trivial, perhaps, but I saw that and I was aware of that, and it was really profound. So it's like, wow, a thought, and then watch how a thought can drop us into different emotional densities. So I just wanted to share that because this is what we're talking about here. This is our immaculate awareness of what we're allowing into our space and how we can do that cleanup within ourselves, right?
Yes, absolutely profound. That connection is a profound, life-changing connection. My dad has done some deep spiritual work too, and I think it was around 5 years ago he said that. He's like the ego consciousness thoughts directly connect to those type of emotions, and then how the thought combined with the emotion affects the glandular system, the endocrine system. Then we have these cascades of hormones, and then how it affects the nervous system. It
Wow.
is so profound. And then that choice of what thought would be useful, what thought would feel better. That was one shift I had too, even instead of like not a negative thought, like instead of even just negative, like, is it useful? Like I said before, if your intention is to be connected to your guides, embodying your multidimensional self, is that thought useful to serve that purpose? Is it serving the purpose? Is it walking you towards that direction, or is it like the shutting you down in the exact opposite? So this is, we're so in sync. This is something I've been really, like I said, where before these thoughts, and I'm like, nope, instead of that, I'm just gonna say, you're doing great. You're doing great. You're doing great. And then all of a sudden I'm back in balance and back feeling connected because I thought that thought a few times instead of the really unuseful thought that would have led me towards just feeling terrible about myself and not being as productive. So it's like, which road do we want to walk down as all these timelines are available to us in the quantum field?
Yes, okay, all right. And actually, you're bringing up a really good point. These thoughts are creating the timelines. We're not aware of it, perhaps, but wow, okay. Can I share one other quick awareness that came to me? I know this is you and whatever, but I think this is relevant. So when I was a teenager, just like you, I would go off to my closet and put classical music on headphones and just be alone and escape. And so there was one point where I did let emotions run over me, like just run away with my psyche. I was so angry at my parents at one point in my teenage years that I said, I am never having kids. Why would we bring kids into a planet like this. And there was emotion starting to come up right now. And so I was so, I mean, the anger, the emotion, that dense emotion with that thought, I'm never having kids. Well, guess what? I was not able to have kids. Look at what I actually then brought into my life. My son is adopted. So that is very interesting. I made that a reality. So if we make things a reality from those emotions, strong emotions, intense emotions, with those thoughts, we really need to start creating in our favor, paying attention in this way, and do exactly what you do. And what you're sharing today is just changing the thought. And it's not a cop out. It seems like it's so easy to just start saying something when you don't even believe it. But wow, how beautiful. Isn't that amazing?
I really love that you shared that because it is true. They even talk about that in laws of manifestation, that in a really powerful emotional state, we can create. And I was shown that in that powerful emotional state, you connected to a timeline, but also we can plug into these programs where then that becomes the reality. That then we have the choice to unplug from these programs, to unplug from these thought forms. And the Arcturians are really helping us with this so that we can walk the timeline that we really want to walk. So it all interconnects together so beautifully. And thank you so much for sharing that. It's a really, really powerful story.
Yes, all right. Well, thank you for helping us understand this even deeper. So let's experience a beautiful crystal chamber, accessing the crystal chambers with the Arcturians. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. What came through for you, for all of you, for you listening, is that we're going to connect with the crystal chamber and receive the vagus nerve regeneration within the crystal chamber. And I'll show you something quickly before we go into it. But what the Arcturian showed me is that we're going to do an activation for the thymus gland, but the master healers will work on the vagus nerve, and the vagus nerve stems from the medulla oblongata at the back of the head. And then we have the nerves that run down the neck. We have a whole bundle of nerves around the heart and the lungs, which we want to unwind so we can reclaim our breath and really that Christed heart consciousness. Then a whole bundle of nerves in the liver and in all these solar plexus organs. And then that bundle goes down through the small intestines and the large intestines. But what they showed me is that a triangle, that we're going to triangulate this energy. So on the right side of the triangle will be the star Arcturus, which is the orange giant, the Arcturian star, which is in the Butes constellation above Virgo. And then on the other side, we're going to actually work with Alcyone, which is the star in the Pleiades near Taurus. So imagine a triangle, and we have the left side and the right side here. And then in the middle, the Starship Athena is going to triangulate. And then from those 2 points, the tip of the triangle is going to enter into the higher heart, which is the thymus gland. You don't have to know what any of that looks like. I just wanted to share what they showed me, that there is going to be a triangulation of 2 different stars and the Starship Athena as we do this nervous system regeneration for the vagus nerve. And really what they kept saying was this is to free the heart consciousness, free the breath. Because sometimes when we're dealing with stress and pressure in life, that vagus nerve, which is like roots of a tree, can really contract around the heart and the lungs and the solar plexus. So if anyone is dealing with any of that contraction or maybe any anxiety that comes with that feeling of contraction, that is what this healing is for. And I'm so grateful to be sharing this. So This is a great one to receive either sitting or lying down. And when you're ready, you can gently close your eyes. Receive a long, deep breath and become aware that you are already one with the light of the Arcturians and their reflection of your multidimensional light body, your multidimensional consciousness. So simply have that thought. I'm connected to the light of the Arcturians, the keepers of pure consciousness, the keepers of spirit. And they're giving me the confirmation that this organic crystalline light ship, the Starship Athena, connected to the goddess Athena, is above you now. And simply breathe and allow the portal of light, this pure crystalline light, to flow down from your custom calibrated crystal chamber. And this powerful flow stream, like a waterfall, a portal of light, is forming the crystal chamber all around you, and we strengthen it below you. You can imagine 2 feet of pure crystalline light below you, behind you, above you, in front of you. And this crystal chamber cube, the walls of light are 4 feet from the physical body in every direction. As the wall of light on the left side and the right side fully forms. And this is a space to breathe, to be exactly as you are. Count 3 breaths, seeing if you can expand through the belly and the rib cage as you inhale. Imagine holding an accordion and then you're pulling the accordion out and the ribs are expanding out in space, like an accordion moving out in space. And then as you exhale, it's like pulling the accordion in, and the belly and the ribs move in towards the center of your being. It is through this proper breathing that we merge with our eternal light bodies, with our Christed multidimensional selves. So twice more, inhale, expand like an accordion moving out, creating space for the breath, opening through the ribs and the belly comfortably. Exhale, gently pulling in to release the breath like an accordion moving in. One more time, inhale, expand. Exhale, gently pulling in. And your eternal light body, your multidimensional self, which is a reflection of the light of your star families, is merging more with the cells of your physical body. And simply continue breathing in that circular way after each inhale. Go right into the exhale. And then after each exhale, right back into that expansive inhale. Then pulling in on the exhale. And we will begin the triangulation now. So you're simply receiving the light from the Starship Athena, from the Arcturus orange giant star in Butes near the Virgo constellation, and from the Alcyone, which is the civilization, the art, cultural civilization star planet of the Palladians, and that's near the Taurus constellation. There's a beam of light directly from Arcturus entering into the thymus below the collarbone, and then a beam of light from Alcyone and the Pleiades on the left side entering into the thymus, the higher heart. The Arcturians are saying again, this is the activation to free the heart, or freeing the heart, freeing the higher heart. And then in the middle point, the light from the Arcturian starship is flowing into the thymus as well. So continue breathing it in. I receive the light of Arcturus. I receive the light of Alcyone. I receive the Arcturian light into my heart, into my higher heart. And now 3 Arcturian crystal chamber master healers are dropping down, their feet landing on the floor. Their feet of light because their bodies are light. They are higher dimensional light beings. And they're going to place their etheric Vogel crystal healing wands. The first crystal chamber master healer placing the wand towards the back of the head. Breathing deeply here. This wand over the medulla oblongata, which is where the vagus nerve originates. And the second master healer is placing the wand over the bundle of nerves of the vagus nerve around the heart and the lungs. And then the third crystal chamber master healer is placing the crystal wand over the bundle connected to the liver, spleen, stomach, in the solar plexus chakra. So now we'll be working on the vagus nerve from these 3 different locations, and all you have to do is breathe. Allowing the light to enter the medulla oblongata at the back of the head, the brain stem, the heart, below the diaphragm, the solar plexus area. And with the crystal chamber master healers, I'm going to channel the light of the violet flame. The light of the violet flame is for cellular transmutation. And this light will begin moving through every nerve and bundle in your vagus nerve as you breathe deeply. Allowing this cool violet light, clearing cellular debris, emotional debris. What thought forms have you been holding on to that may be stimulating your emotional system, your nervous system? And the violet flame is clearing all the nerves from the medulla oblongata all the way down the neck, through the whole heart and lungs, through the solar plexus, the liver, spleen, all the way down through the small intestines, large intestines. The Arcturians are saying the transmission coming through is about feeling safe to be your multidimensional self within the body. So we're clearing the fear, any fear around being your eternal self and embodying the light and wisdom of your eternal self. And you can begin to mentally repeat balance, 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 as we call in the Arcturian blue healing light to now fill every nerve within the vagus nerve, from the base of the brain to the heart to the navel, allowing the Arcturian blue healing light to fill every cell within your vagus nerve. And part of this is that the Arcturians are going to channel the light language through me, which is multidimensional healing codes of light, specifically to recalibrate the vagus nerve, to bring you into heart coherence, to free the heart, to support you in embodying your multidimensional self. So these sounds you will hear are multidimensional codes of light, and they may sound a little funny. And if you smile or giggle or whatever comes up, simply allow, as your full vagus nerve is being rejuvenated and regenerated. Ikamiliki nani no la kaniliki kokati koti kati kola maniti kola katakaki yankani ko namaki la kia la koti ka yamariki koti kola mariki takani nani kola matuki yamariki kola makia la ka yala kitu kamari la kia la kani la kyu yala kitu kama yamariki kola matika Yikala marikila ko, yamalakatiko, yakala matiko, yati ontangiko, nyatika nikotan kolamatika, yakala matakala kiolako, yakalikotika, yamarikika kiko nikala kanialaku. Breathe in these multidimensional healing codes of light through the light language. And now every single nerve within the vagus nerve is surrounded by the cool violet flame light, the Arcturian blue healing light, and the transmission to free your heart, free your breath. So simply count 4 long, deep circular breaths to integrate. Knowing that you are present and accounted for, and this healing transmission is custom calibrated specifically for you. Allowing these etheric walls of crystalline light all around you to invite your physical body to soften even more. Softening into your true divine nature. Allowing the Arcturian starlight, the Palladian starlight, as we end with a cosmic communication activation. So we were triangulating this triangle of light from Arcturus, from Alcyone, to clear your cosmic communication beacon, which is the thymus. So I'm placing a violet rose and the Vogel wand at the thymus now and asking this violet ray rose to vacuum anything in the way of your highest cosmic communication and connection. 3 more breaths. I am one with the light of my star family. My star family of light is one with me. Well done. We give great thanks to the Arcturians, the Crystal Chamber Master Healers, Giuliano, the captain of the Starship Athena and the Starship Athena, and know that you will stay connected. They're saying they'll continue holding you in the light of the crystal chamber. But we give thanks as we close this transmission. When you're ready, you can receive a long, deep breath and gently wiggle the fingers and the toes as this helps recalibrate the nervous system and integrate the energies. And then gently open your eyes. Thank you for receiving.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was exquisite.
Thank you.
We can feel fresh and new and sparkly. Absolutely. Wow. And all we have to do is breathe. That was beautiful. Myself, as we were just simply breathing, I felt a lot of energy releasing from the throat chakra. So I find that fascinating, really expansive there. And the whole thing resonated so deeply with my heart. I know now more about the Arcturians and their blue flame, their blue ray. They are part of who I know as the Blue Ray Collective, and you've helped me recognize that today. And no wonder I feel such an affinity to the Arcturians as well. So that is beautiful. Thank you. And of course, the violet flame. The violet flame also speaks deeply to my heart, and we are full of these energies. And you have shifted us today. I am so grateful. The world has changed.
Wow, the Arcturian light shines through your eyes, Lauren, and you have had lifetimes on Arcturus. And yes, they are with the blue ray, and they channel that blue healing light, and that blue healing light even holds the violet flame and so many frequencies within it. But you were so tuned in, like the Arcturians are saying, welcome to your like shiny, clean, upgraded vagus nerve and cosmic communication beacon in the thymus. for all of you because they are multidimensional beings who are with each one of us simultaneously, and they love this opportunity because this is their service.
So cool. Thank you so much. And I have this little crystal here. It's not the Vogel, but I had it here in my bra, let's just say. And right now it is red hot. It is burning up. Thank
I
you
love that.
for this remembrance. Thank you for this activation. I know I am not the only one. We are all lit up. And I truly hope that you who are watching and listening can sense this, can feel this, come back to this again and listen in, experience this frequency. I am forever connected. I feel like this is a permanent link. I feel like crying because it is home in a way. It really is. It's home. And you've helped facilitate this remembrance today. So thank you. That's so powerful. And why um, all the speakers heal each of us uniquely in our own way. So with that, I'm in deep gratitude for you, the Arcturians, the Andromedans, Athena, the Pleiadians, and you said Giuliano, the captain of the Athena starship.
Of the Starship Athena, yes. I was getting all of this information because I had never specifically studied anything about the Arcturians. And then at one point, I thought, I should look something up. I should listen to someone talk because I've never listened to anybody talk about them. And I saw a video on YouTube, and the woman was recommending a book called We the Arcturians, written by Dr. Norma. I apologize, I forget her last name, but the book is called We the Arcturians. And then I pull up that book and it's like, it is Giuliano, the captain of the Starship Athena. And I'm like, oh, thank you for the confirmation, because that's all the information I had been receiving. And then the book confirmed so much for me, like that we're beaming the crystalline light down. And it was a really special experience that I think the guides were like kind of leading me to get some confirmation on this energy. But you can call upon Giuliano, the captain of the Starship Athena. The starship is with you, and it is home, connecting to the stars. We are stardust. This is our home, and that's why we really free our hearts when we connect to home.
Thank you. We are connected, and it's so lovely and so beautiful. I know everyone is feeling this energy. It's, again, I'll say that word, exquisite. It's so loving, so nurturing, so healing, so uplifting that I love it. And there's a program that you're offering for people to stay connected, to work with this even deeper. And that is in your special offer. It's on this webpage. People can check that out. Tell us about this, though. This is beautiful. Again, it's more on the nervous system regeneration. Activate the Arcturian crystal chambers for rapid, permanent healing. Thanks for sharing on this. What is it?
This is what at a certain point, when the Arcturians had come in, they started coming into the healings and saying that we want to facilitate the nervous system regeneration because, again, some maybe control forces or things like that had created some issues, implants, things like that with the nervous systems of humanity. And they wanted to clear that out. So they started showing me how to do the nervous system regeneration. And then at a certain point, they said they want more people to be able to access this. So they shared with me, which I had never created an audio program before, but they shared with me that I would record and I would channel the words that they were saying, and that when someone pressed play on one of these audios, that they would be instantly connected to the Starship Athena. It would anchor the light of the crystal chambers. And then they would do these specific nervous system healings on the individual. And those who have experienced it, it's incredible. My husband every single day starts as though I hear my voice every morning from our healing room. He starts his day by listening to it. The whole idea is that they are one with us and we can connect anytime. But these specific transmissions were created and they're professionally recorded with solfeggio frequencies and binaural beats, that the transmission is created in the audio, that when you press play, all of this healing energy activates within you and all around you. And what they guided was needed was really, really incredible. They covered every part of the nervous system. So, starting with the first crystal chamber healing is the parasympathetic nervous system reset. So, this is when you want to get into that mode of really when we're in parasympathetic, we are our true selves. Our hearts are free because we're not constricted through all those vagus nerve bundles. And this is where the body's innate healing ability, the body literally heals itself when we're in parasympathetic mode. So if you ever were looking for something where you could spend more time in that mode, one, when you listen, you're getting the benefits of the crystal chamber, the benefits of I'm guiding every word and what they're saying. So you're receiving the benefits of the meditation, of meditating, of deep relaxation. I recommend doing receiving them in Shavasana, laying on the bed, the couch, or sitting however you feel comfortable. All the solfeggio frequencies and binaural beats. So the first one is that opportunity to just completely enter the self-healing mode. It's the parasympathetic nervous system reset. It's the sweetest, most beautiful experience of being in the crystal chambers, and the crystal chamber master healers come with their incredible etheric wands and work on the entire parasympathetic nervous system. That's the first audio. And each one's around 38 minutes, 33 to 38 minutes. The second one is the sympathetic nervous system recalibration. So, what they showed me is that we want to honor our sympathetic nervous system. Honestly, joking, they were like, if we didn't have it, we would be like sloths. We wouldn't really get anywhere too fast. That sympathetic nervous system gives us the ability to get up and go, to fight or flight if we needed to. But of course, we know in this day and age of the with the overstimulation that so many things, social media, getting an email, dealing with someone we're in a relationship with, work, can stimulate it. So the whole idea of the second healing is to really strengthen and recalibrate the sympathetic nervous system so that it doesn't just jump into that fight or flight, like that conditioned programming, like we were talking about, Lauren. You have the thought and the emotion, and then you're just like, oh, and then you're like, why am I even in this state right now? Or why am I acting this way? So it's really about giving you the ability to respond from divine faith, from that multidimensional self, as opposed to reacting from programs. And we often guilt ourselves so much when we react in a way that doesn't resonate with who we truly are, but we react from a program. And this is about clearing those programs so that we can respond from divine faith. The third audio is the vagus nerve recalibration. So we had a sample of it, and this is like the full thing. Again, return to heart coherence, every part of the vagus nerve from the base of the spine down the neck. That's why you felt it in the throat chakra, Lauren, through the heart, through the navel, through the entire digestive system. One of the longest cranial nerve in the body and the most important nerve in the nervous system, so that we can really reclaim that breath, reclaim that heart freedom. And each one, again, is a complete activation of the crystal chamber consciousness. The fourth one This one is so beautiful because it's called the relationship sensitivity healing, that the Arcturians were saying that they can see how we're all have people in our lives and we're blessed to learn and grow many times. Sometimes the people in our lives are beautiful, loving experience. Other times we're learning and growing from these relationships. But they were showing me how the cellular debris and emotional debris from the emotional highs and lows of others, like your parents, your children, coworkers, spouse, friends, can get stuck in the nervous system. And sometimes how we're programmed, oh, I have to be a certain way around this person to not inflict a reaction. So it's really about clearing, especially any abuse. I know I was abused as a child. So any abuse you may have experienced, whether that be energetic, emotional, physical, mental, really clearing other people's energy out of the nervous system, which is really beautiful and really important in being yourself, not to carry other people's emotions in the nervous system. And then there's two more audios, the crystal chamber activations. The fifth one is about healing the roots of emotional pain. So any emotional cellular trauma that we're holding in the nervous system, clearing the cellular debris from the nervous system. Again, it's a huge unplugging from programs of where we get stuck in specific emotional states, which really aren't the timeline that we're truly aligned with. And then the last one is for physical pain. So it's a somatic nervous system healing, and it's about healing the roots of physical pain. So this is for anybody who has any type of pain in the body, whether that be nerve pain or in the back, pain in the neck, even if you don't think it's associated with the nerves. The Arcturian crystal chamber master healers bring the specific frequencies. And again, each healing is custom calibrated for the person listening and activates while listening to help heal the body of physical pain, because the Arcturians also really want to help us with our physical healing. So it really hits all aspects of the nervous system, from the parasympathetic, sympathetic, the vagus nerve, healing the relationship and our responses and relationships and energy we may hold from other people in the nervous system, and then healing any of that emotional pain and then the physical pain. It's really, it's undescribable experience. And I just I love for people to receive it because it's been so encoded. It really is a transmission of healing that you can listen to anytime. And the last thing I'll share is what the Arcturians kept telling me this morning is that while we are in our ascension journey, anchoring the new earth, anchoring that fifth dimensional light body, we need this time for ourselves to allow the physical body to recover and to be able to go into the crystal chamber and receive specific nervous system healing is so beneficial. Like if you're ever having a really busy period with work, or say your child or your spouse or someone has a cold and you're caretaking, or whatever circumstances and conditions may be, to really have that space for yourself, because we need to honor the physical body through this ascension journey and through the intensity of the human experience right now. So that is what this crystal chamber nervous system regeneration really is for, and everyone who receives it will have lifetime access to it.
Wow, so beautiful and amazing. I can feel the energy of that. I'm really excited for this, and I know people are really going to love it and love working with it. This is cosmic energy healing transmissions. That's
Yeah.
what I get. It's cosmic energy healing, support from our star families. Really extraordinary. Wow. Welcome home, everyone. Yeah, cool.
You nailed it. Exactly.
And what a powerful tool to really once and for all help us remove ourselves from the third dimensional old paradigm and anchor more fully into the fifth dimensional paradigm. Beautiful transmissions, beautiful support. Again, cosmic energy healing transmissions. Very cool. Thank you so much for this. Again, those who are watching and listening, scroll down on this webpage that got you here, or check in the description box of wherever you're watching or listening, and you'll find the access to that. And I want to say it's a great investment in your soul. Your soul knows if this is beneficial for you. And of course, your heart, as you felt this today, your heart knows it as well. And if you think that this is something, if you feel that this is something for you, you have a great opportunity to take advantage of this. It's a beautiful price. It's affordable. If you need help, there's a 2-payment plan as well. And we really want this to be easy for you to access this. So come on board and work with Hilary Faye and the Arcturian healing transmissions here. So beautiful. Thank you, Hilary. This is so wonderful. Anything else you'd like to share about the special offer?
It is so affordable, and with the 2-payment plan too, because that was the whole intention behind it, to make this accessible and to make it affordable and to really fill it with so much love and so much light. And everyone who registers, and I custom activate all of the energies for you as well too, and put your name on my altar and do distance cosmic healing for you as well. So it's a beautiful way to stay connected and receive a lot of deep support that you can come back to again and again, like fall asleep listening to it. It's beautiful to fall asleep listening to. If you ever are just feeling tired or any stress in the afternoon and you want to take a break for yourself, press play, start like my husband, start the day listening to it. He does the somatic one every morning, and that's how he starts his day. That one, it's the only one he does, that one every single morning, the same one. So yeah, I just I use it all the time myself. That's how I spent most of the day earlier. Like, oh, I know what I'm gonna do today. Go in the crystal chamber and experience the
Great
activations. And
clarity.
that's, yeah, that's so I'd love for anyone who feels resonant with it to have it. It's really truly filled with love.
Okay. There was so much energy that my internet connection got unstable, but that is so wonderful. And I want to say that, yes, even though I didn't know that you were connecting with our group last night, and look at the experience that I had. It is real, it is profound, and it is so wonderful. Again, that word home, this is it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So as we say goodbye, is there a message from the Arcturians or any of your other guides?
Oh, yes. The message is to really stay with that breathing, to as much as you can throughout the day, to be in that circular breath. And as you are, to be aware that you are connected, that you are one with your cosmic family of light. And when you are in that breath, and like again, they keep showing the accordion, the inhale, expand, the exhale, move in, that's when you're in the highest resonance and embodiment of your multidimensional light body. And the last message, what they're saying is to recognize how beautiful you are, how valuable you are, and how loved you are. And the Arcturians are part of this team to really hold that for you, to hold you in this really high frequency crystalline love that is very, very pure.
So beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are floating in the bliss now.
So
Thank you.
much love to this whole community, and to you, Lauren. You are a miracle on earth. Everything you do and share, your voice is so beautiful and resonant, and so are you. And this is just, it's almost like luxurious being in your energy. So thank you.
Oh,
It is
Hillary,
luxurious.
you. Thank you. Thank you. That's so lovely. And thank you for everyone who's watching. We truly hope that you're feeling this because as you feel this and you live it, wow, do you see that world? We're doing it. We are anchoring new earth, and it starts one heart at a time, one breath at a time. So keep breathing. As we heard today from the Arcturians, all you need to do is breathe. All right, beautiful. Thank you, Hillary, and thank you everyone for watching. Namaste.
Thank you. Namaste.
This has been a presentation of New Earth One Network, your home for New Earth living. Access information, education, and videos on living from the heart in unity consciousness. Visit newearth1.com.